Hi there, I'm Mike Shope. Welcome to ADP Chasing, Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. Our heroes are assembled. Pat Kerrane, Davis Maddock, Jacob Sanderson. We'll hit a lot of different subjects tonight, as always. Some are going to be unplanned. I think that's what you like. Jaylen Waddle trade fallout, Miami and Denver. And 2 B. Robinsons in Atlanta. Watch out there. That was an easy one. Other things as well. Thanks for joining us. Less than 1 month until the NFL draft. Welcome to ADP Chasing. Here we go.
ADP Chasing is for when you watch Ship Chasing, you go, these guys are just football guys.
I have my 4% exposure blanket.
Stay poor.
Actually back in if it's Ashane.
Stare into our crystal ball. Close your eyes, all your entries are going to lose anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're not going to tell me how this went. I was here.
It's anti-cabal. It's anti the best ball thought leaders. I'm obviously lying to some degree because I have a lot of both of these guys.
It's the most disgusting pick you can make. But man.
Pat, welcome back. So the young one's going to run on her own tonight.
The what?
Your dog.
No, he's got the night nurse, bro. He's got the night nurse.
I can already hear the activity going on.
Yeah.
Where Pat is sitting. So
No, my wife is watching Vivian. She's not loose. She's not even two.
She's not loose.
Not relative term. Kyler
What are
Murray
you drinking tonight, Davis? What is that? Is that a Mike's Hard?
No,
opened 2 days ago.
that is
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar.
Yeah, come on.
Opened on the weekend.
Calories after 6 p.m. Central Time. What am I, a fucking animal, Jacob? Insane. I wore this especially for all the loyal viewers and listeners of Ship Chasing, where I feel like we've spent a lot of time arguing about Kyler Murray. Got brand new. This is the first time I've worn it. Still smells like
I don't know.
fanatics.
Have we spent that much time? I feel like there was a big argument. We were told that we
there
were
was
crazy.
there was a big
Kyler
argument.
could start in the NFL, and then it's been crickets
Oh,
for a couple weeks for some reason.
You know what?
We're usually like Kyler Murray. What a nice pick.
We definitively.
He's not very controversial. What happened?
We definitively won that one.
That was a pretty big win.
Davis is consistently haunted by anonymous YouTube commenters that he imagines talking.
No, these were real.
These were real.
On this
These were
channel.
real.
I saw them.
Now, Jacob is not wrong in the sense that I am haunted by one guy who maybe said something once, but these guys were real the one time. It was real this time.
You are vulnerable to
live
that.
comment playback. Watch the video. Go back.
Yes.
Go back to February. They're there.
I am vulnerable to it. Now, obviously, the way that I deal with that largely is on my own channel that I run. Is if you slightly annoy me once, you're basically gone. The rope is so thin. Swolecast too as well. You get 1.5.
As Uncle Mike, if I may, this community, there's a couple areas as sharp and sophisticated as it is that has the farthest to go. And that one is the people you're talking about aren't listening, and the people you care about don't care. So there's no upside in that, any of that.
So Mike, the issue is we are literally the only game in town. If you are a best ball degenerate and you are drafting in the big board right now, even if you fucking hate me, you're probably watching this show. You really probably are.
Right.
So that changes the dynamic you're talking about.
It changes the dynamic just a smidge.
What does it mean? What does it mean to run with such a person?
Let me just say, Love Stars, before we even opened, okay, because they said true. Tootin is not the RB1. Enough of this nonsense that ends today. These Love Stars wishes there was other stuff, but admits that this is the best show.
Who's more ready for tonight's show, Pat or Love Stars? That's the question I have.
Love Stars is locked in, dude. He's got Byshell Tootin PFF pass receiving grade from college stuff ready to go.
Love Stars is currently on eBay looking for Chris Rodriguez jerseys.
There is a Jerry West rookie going tonight. You might like Love Stars.
This is a good
looking for cards, by the way.
This is what we call a sell window for Chris Rodriguez jerseys. This is don't overprice them on eBay. You want to move that product right now.
So to break the ice, not that we need it broken at this point, there was a flag football game of some interest recently.
My whole Twitter timeline watched this. I didn't. Not only did I not watch 1 second, I was actively mad people were watching it.
Well, it was going on during March Madness. Like, people get your priorities straight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a college basketball guy really, but still, I mean, come on.
Yeah, but you surely filled out a bracket.
Oh, mini. I'm addicted to gambling. Of course.
Of course. I know this about you. Yeah.
I didn't watch this flag football either. Was this where the Odo Beckham thing came from?
Odo was
learn.
there.
Correct.
Slide 1, watch and learn. Here we go.
There was one Tom Brady clip that totally isolated from anything else that happened. Did look very impressive. That's all I got.
He killed it.
I got to download these slides. Hang on.
Is Love Stars available for comments?
Love Stars, would you mind
step in for Pat?
Stars, do you have a Byshell Tootin slide? Do you have a Chris Rodriguez slide? Do you have a side by side for us yet here?
Do you have a jersey yet?
I mean,
Stars is just like demanding that Sam Sherman start a competing stream. A competing stream.
Wait, is this true? Gronk tore his ACL?
Hamstring, looks like.
Well, it says left with a hamstring injury. I know. Does that read as tore his ACL to you?
Someone TCD Chosen Deezer just said Gronk tore his ACL, but a hamstring injury, I guess, makes sense.
I don't know. I really wasn't following. I couldn't have told you Gronk played in it, to be honest.
Wait,
I didn't know what
Hurts
happened.
and Smith were in this game? That's crazy. Don't do that.
Jaden Daniels.
Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels were in it. Like,
Yeah.
What are you
famously
doing,
injured
guys? I love how I said Jalen Hurts, and Jacob was like, no, real quarterbacks play too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my
Joe
God.
Burrow-
I did the one clip that I did see, surprising probably no one, was Jalen Hurts getting sacked by Logan Paul. And I just watched that over and over and over and over again.
Joe
This
Burrow
was delightful.
was tackling people. Joe Burrow went to the ground. If I was the Browns, if I was the Bengals, and not that the Bengals are a serious organization, I'd be like, you can't do this. Like, you are not allowed to do this, bro.
Well, look what they did today. Signed Flacco. Like, they're just making contingency plans, I think.
Oh,
Like,
did
Joe
I
Burrow's a flag
actually
football
missed
player
that?
today.
Yeah.
I missed that they had
Flacco.
signed Flacco.
What does a sack look
Which
like
is
in a flag
awesome
football game?
news for Chase and Higgins. We now it's
Yeah,
like,
it's-
okay, if
it's
Joe
good
Burrow
news,
misses
yeah.
time, whatever.
Yeah. No AJ Brown playing with Jalen Hurts at the Saudi Arabia football game.
He would never.
Why? I mean, seriously, like, don't do that.
I will say I did lose a ton. I just in general lost respect for all these guys, particularly Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow. Like, you don't need the money. You're in the prime of your life. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Lost respect. How great is that?
Not that I have a ton of respect for them anyway, but
You have lost my respect playing flag football on television in March. You wouldn't have been playing on the side. We know that.
they should be at TGL right now. They should be watching TGL playoffs in Los Angeles at SoFi right now.
With Tiger.
Yeah.
What's
Okay.
TGL?
That's the golf league.
We
that-
don't have time for this, Jacob.
I didn't think there would be like this slide following the flag football game is like somehow the flag football is actually more relevant to fantasy. Like, maybe we should just move back to this.
It's insane.
Oh, you are
The
so
Dolphins aren't
anti-slides.
an NFL team. Why are we talking about it?
You are so anti-slides lately.
No,
Well, and yet
Corinne,
you have their best player ranked 14. So, speak on it.
I unironically saw a fantasy football account tweet this today on my For You page. It was a clip of Malik Willis practicing down in Miami with
Sorry, was that a
Jaylen
fantasy football account or a NFL draft account? Because there's a difference, and some should just stick to what they're doing.
I wasn't ready for that in the first 10 minutes.
Well, shit. Honestly, I don't know. But the caption of it was that Jalen Tolbert Malik Willis combo looking pretty sharp, like with the eyes emoji. And I was just like, this actually could be the darkest offensive season in modern NFL history. This could easily be the Hugh Jackson, right? He was the coach of the 0-17 Browns.
Yeah.
This could pretty easily be that. With who was the running back on that team? It wasn't Chubb, was
Duke
it?
Johnson?
Duke Johnson. It was Duke Johnson with Devin Achane in the Duke Johnson role.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't draft him at 14.
Where would you draft him?
20.
I moved him to 20.
Yeah, I have him at 24, which is basically just
24.
I'll not draft him unless he's traded or moves down in ADP.
I mean, he does have some chance of being traded. So I feel like, yeah, you get that for free at 24, I'd say. The other thing is, like, he's such a PPR friendly back, even with Willis. It's like, it's hard. I mean, I know they're not going to have a ton of dropbacks. Is there such a
thing as PPR friendly with Malik Willis?
Yeah,
I mean, I think there kind of is when you don't have receivers. Like, they're going to have to include some design touches for Asiah in the backfield.
Sure, like he'll have some, but like it's going to be, I think, a pretty. I mean, you have, first of all, you replace Tua, who's like the most willing to check down of maybe any quarterback, like of all time, with Malik Willis, who has no interest in checking down. You replace Mike McDaniel, who's like incredible at
do we even, by the way,
targets for Bobby Slowick. It's like
I'd like to criticize you real quick, Jacob. Do we even have enough of a sample size of Malik Willis playing to say like, oh, he will definitely never check down?
I mean, I guess not. Like, he's played 8 games, but like he certainly doesn't have a high rate of. He's certainly not the archetype of quarterback you would expect to check down at the rate.
He is not. I mean, he is not. I'm not going to push back on that.
I know he's not, because running quarterbacks don't check down anyways. Just in general, they run instead.
Yeah,
I do.
The more pressing issue is that they're going to average, like, I think, a very low amount of total plays, and total dropbacks, because like they're going to try to be really run heavy. And then they're going to be bad, so they're going to have to try to pass. But then I don't think Willis.
They're going to have to try to. Their defense
is
going to be
horrible. So then they're going to just go 3 and out and punt all the time and run like 47 plays.
Maybe, but I mean, the defense. It's not like the worst case scenario here would be they actually have an awesome defense, because now you're like, right? They just don't score. They're horrible to watch on offense, but you know they're not. They're able to kind of like bend don't break on defense. The game goes away, and you know. Like, you kind of want them to at least get possessions because the other team's scoring them.
Like, some of the Jets games last year where it was like, in the first half, we're going to run the ball. Then we get to halftime. It's like, it's like they're down by 14. And it's like, okay, now they have to pass the ball. Oh, they went 3 and out. And then they got the ball back. There's 6 minutes left in the third quarter. They went 3 and out again.
The Jets were
12 minutes
absolutely
left in the fourth quarter. Oh, they've pulled the starters. And they got like 7 plays of comeback mode because they can't sustain any drives in comeback. Like, I just think there's catastrophic systemic downside to this whole project that like will ruin everyone associated with it.
Also, where is Tutu Atwell on this chart?
True. People are saying.
Yeah, come on, Zach. Respect Tutu Atwell.
Let me try and give you one shred of optimism. If you're a Dolphins fan, our boy Chad Candles is a Dolphins fan, or if you are a big Malik Willis bag holder, of which I am a big Malik Willis bag holder. They do they have a lot of? They have to have a lot of picks in this draft, right? They have multiple thirds. They have multiple thirds.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they have a bunch of thirds.
Maybe like they
3
take
or 4 thirds.
Like all of our fun rookies that like our models like maybe they end up with Adam Randall and Jacoby Lane and Justin Jolly.
None of that matters to me.
I know, but it kind of matters to me.
I think your hope here is that Willis is actually like kind of solid and it's a better design. Like the Jets comparison is very fair and pretty scary, but you know, the Jets offense last year it wasn't just that they wanted to run the ball and didn't seem interested in doing things that would help them win, but it's like the offense was horribly designed too. So, you know, I don't know.
Right.
Like
Bobby Slowick surely will.
Tanner Engstrom. I think I'd take him over Engstrom. Engstrom was
I don't think I would.
Engstrom was about as bad as it gets.
Jacob, whatever you just did with your microphone, it sounds dramatically better than it did before, but now you're coming in like mega
your microphone
high.
Before was Bobby Slowick, but now it's Tanner Engstrom.
Yeah.
Okay, how's this?
That's better.
It'll play.
Maybe can you do like 5% less? That's
how
good.
Are we now?
There you go. Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. You're good.
All right.
You're good.
Yeah, someone in the comments said I was quiet, so I made myself louder, but I guess too loud. But now we're okay. We found the middle.
We're
right.
three little
Is the
Bears now.
consensus the Dolphins are a full-on fade?
I still take Willis.
They're a full fade for me, except for I do think Willis is fine in best ball because I think he'll have some games where, similar to Fields last year, where you're like, man, he played like shit. Oh, he scored 23 fantasy
He scored
points.
22 points, yeah.
And they won't take him out, right, Jacob? They won't take him out.
No, they will. I think that's
I mean,
why
they definitely
Willis,
could late season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a problem for us. I
Yeah,
don't think
no, it's
Willis
a big
is that
risk.
great of a pick. Yeah.
I'm not overweight on any Dolphin. I take Willis occasionally. If Achan's ADP fell, I would love to, but I don't. I think I'm out on an island with this. I've seen way more optimism for him than I have.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm like the where I have A-Chain ranked, I don't get him.
I'm gonna lower him slightly. I think
I've taken a little bit of Greg Dulcich in the 20th.
I think Greg Dulcich is draftable.
I think Dulcich is draftable, sure.
Part of it for me with Achane is like he's actually very talented, and the only way, like if they are intent on keeping him and potentially extending him before the season, like he will be a huge part of what they're trying to do. They would like to get the first pick, but probably not completely embarrass themselves. So running their offense through a running back probably helps them do that. I don't know. You get to a certain point in the second round where you're like, I'm going to just take this guy who's like, has the ability to score like an elite running back, even if his situation is rough.
I've got one other angle here, and then we can go on to the next slide. Are you guys taking a little bit of Ollie Gordon and or Jaylen Wright with two understandings? One being the chance of a trade, the second being Achane gets shut down with a phantom hamstring injury in week 10, and you get a quote unquote starting running back.
I'm yes on Gordon. I'm yes on Gordon.
I'm yes on Gordon as well.
I've taken Gordon once or twice, but the reason I don't want to take Achane has nothing to do with Achane. I think the world of him. So I don't really want to bet against him. I'm just betting against this whole team. So it doesn't really make me like excited to take the way shittier version of Achane, who's going to be stuck in the same shitty spot. But I've taken Gordon maybe once or twice, just where I need a running back and he's there.
Mm-hmm. Gordon just feels like one of those things where it's like, yeah, maybe he's the guy who would benefit if Achane went down, but like, is he definitely? And why are we making the bet on I want to take Achane because it's Achane. I don't want to take the guy behind Achane because now I just have a 2-down running back on the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I binked that. That was I had a backup to start. The Dulcich I think is draftable. Malik Washington is draftable, I think, but it's not fun.
Malik Washington is the most. Who gives a shit? Like I just we've seen the Malik Washington thing.
Yeah, it is not exciting. I agree.
The next slide is Isiah Pacheco actually Jahmyr Gibbs compliment now, and how likely is it that he does well?
No,
in that
they're
role?
so drafting someone. Craig Reynolds can rear his ugly head. Legend of the show, Sion Bucky. Like all respect to Isiah Pacheco. He literally gave his leg up for the 2024 Super Bowl losing Kansas City Chiefs. Came back way too quick. Never was right. Heard it again. He's just got nothing.
I can't pick him.
I mean, Pacheco
I haven't been that excited.
The whole thing with Pacheco was like, I don't know, he ran like a 4.37 or whatever he ran, right? And it's like, well, he's not very good, but he is fast. And on the Chiefs, that can go a long way.
Yeah.
But he's not fast anymore.
Now he's slow and drawing dead to get more than like 10 touches in a game.
Yeah, and he's never really been good. So I don't know. I don't really see the point.
While we're on the slide, Montgomery though. Love Montgomery.
Yeah.
Like
Montgomery,
he's like
I wish I loved.
I'm
less.
stunned, but
I don't like.
He's like one of my favorite picks in all of best ball right now, and it brings me no pleasure to say that, but like he's like the lighthouse at the position because after him, there's no running back I want at cost for a while, and so I'm frequently in a spot where like if I only have one running back and it gets into the 5th round, sometimes even the 6th round, I'm like, David Montgomery is looking pretty great right now. Because after him, it's like it's bleak. I'm not into like Jaylen Warren at cost, Ramondre at cost, Harvey. It gets rough around there. So Monty I like on this slide. Pacheco not so much.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Risers.
Do you like Monty more or Tootin? Straight up.
Tootin.
I mean, I like Tootin more. Like, I think we have them ranked back to back. But like, if I'm on the draft and it's the two of them, who do I want to take? I want to take Bashal Tootin. We actually have Monty two spots ahead.
Take the slap out of the chaser, buddy. You could try. You could try.
You can't do it.
It's just mostly age. Situation, no. I mean, Jacksonville is still a puzzle, and Houston isn't anymore.
I mean, I feel like Jacksonville is being treated more of a puzzle than it is in reality because Chris Rodriguez had like 3 good games and people hated Bill. Chris Rodriguez got waived and sent to the practice squad 21 different times by the Washington Commanders. That's not in fact, I might even be lowballing it. Might be more than 21 times.
You fell asleep counting. You fell asleep counting.
Pro Reference.
That's how. Yeah, when Davis has insomnia, he just remembers how many times Rodriguez
21.
Chris Rodriguez is like, man, I don't know. He's like Isaiah Crowell, or just like he remember Zamir White? Remember that like 4-game run Zamir White went on for the Raiders? Yeah. He's like if Zamir White's college coach got a job and was like, sure, yeah, whatever, we need another running back. Let me bring in this guy I coached in college.
I'm not even as tilted by the Chris Rodriguez stuff as you are. I'm more tilted by what Wheel Route just brought up, which is LaQuint Allen. The LaQuint Allen hype drives me crazy because that guy's Dare Agumbawale to me. But
yeah, he's just smart.
I still think C-Rod is like. I mean, I love C-Rod as a pick in best ball at cost. He hasn't really stopped me from taking Tootin, but I don't know. I do think that there's. I think that there's ambiguity. I think it's a puzzle. I think Putin's fine to bet on at cost. Like. I prefer Tootin straight up to like Trevion Henderson, honestly. But I do think that there's a very distinct possibility that we look in like week 10 and we're like, why are we taking all these year 2 backs that are like projecting as timeshare guys, and then we just had no interest in David Montgomery's 320 touches for
sure.
12 touchdowns.
For sure.
That seems to play the Sam Sherman role in the podcast. Like I think the odds that David Montgomery outscores the whole group of Tootin, Hendo, Harvey, Scattaboo is like pretty reasonable.
Can I be
Montgomery
the Davis Maddox
ahead of Henderson? So I mean, I do like understand what you're saying, but it is kind of it's the spinal tap thing where you can tell me all the facts you want, but Bashal Tootin goes to 11.
yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, look, I'm drafting.
Look at you with that reference.
That was very good. I was going to say basically the same thing, which is related to that, but also like chances of David Montgomery having a legendary season, 0, impossible, cannot happen. Bashal Tootin could score 15 touchdowns or whatever.
That's it.
And then the point I would like to make on top of that is the ADP makes sense when you factor in the downside risk, and the downside risk is that Montgomery loses his job due to performance because his body just can't do it anymore.
To whom?
Nick Chubb lost his job to the worst interior runner in the National Football League last year.
Okay. I'm willing to bet that we've seen that David Montgomery is better than like post career ending injury Nick Chubb. There's nothing we've seen to suggest that he's not significantly better than that.
He was pretty bad last year, Montgomery.
He was fine. His like he didn't play that much. Gibbs played way more, but like his actual efficiency stats and his creation metrics and stuff are like totally fine. Like he's not a game changing back at anything, but I
think the bigger issue
is that being completely average.
You end up spending like a late 4th or 5th round pick, depending on where you actually take him. His ADP is 63, so he is a really strong pick, right? You're getting him in the early 6th, but you spend that pick, and it's like, yeah, I could have gotten this production with a pick around like pick 100 or something. That's where. Like you could maybe replace him with like Jonah Coleman or something.
Jaylen Warren outscores David Montgomery on 75 fewer touches or something.
Yeah. I think that it's just like really uninspiring over the course of the year. Like I do agree with you, Jacob, that I don't think he's going to get like completely displaced, because it would have to be Woody Marks or
who stinks,
like one of these random ass rookies You know, they're
Jawar
not.
Jordan.
They're not the
Jawar
love
Jordan.
team. So yeah, I mean, there's like not too many guys that could actually like realistically do it. Like this rookie class sucks.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
Well, plus I would just say
bad.
legitimately
I went
terrible.
I went
Houston-
so much deeper than I planned because I was like, surely like Le'Veon Moss or like Robert Henry or Kalen Black. Like surely there's
Did
someone
you just
here.
reference UTSA's own Robert Henry?
I did.
Yeah.
I wrote him up. I was like, there has to be someone. And there isn't. It's
No.
like Heidenreich out of Navy, where you're like, I don't know,
dude,
maybe
it's
he's
gonna be-
actually gets listed as a running back and catches passes.
It's gonna be.
but he's
Jade-
not
it's
a
gonna be
he's not a
Jade
running
Knott.
back.
It's gonna be Jade Knott.
It's none of these bums. I'm also in the midst of writing my running back stuff. I'll have it out by probably the end of the weekend. And yeah, like there's nothing. It's like Love, and then I don't even like the guys that are going to go day 2 really, except for Coleman kinda. But at least
I don't
if
think
they
he
go
goes
day
day
2.
2. I think Coleman
Right, he
goes
might not even go day 2. So like, but at least he I think is decent, and like I think Price and Washington suck. But if they go day 2, you could talk
Sure.
me into saying they get touches for the first year at least.
Sure.
And then yeah, all these other day 3 guys are like,
I think Price is actually kind of good, but you know,
yeah,
But not
Not
on
gonna let it
Houston. Houston traded up for Marks and then signed Montgomery. The power moves.
yeah, they're not
Yeah.
going to take Mike
they're
Washington
not taking
round
Jadarian
2.
Price.
Those
Yeah.
guys are not in. Rookies are not in Montgomery's way. I think.
It would have to like Nick Singleton. I could see taking the job at the end of the year. He's got enough upside, but like he's even if they get like Katron Allen in round 5, I think Montgomery's pretty safe.
Also on this list, let's run it down. Christian Kirk, Chris Rodriguez, Darnell Mooney, Giants, Montgomery, Malik Washington, Miami, Emmanuel Wilson, Chico Conquo to Washington, Hollywood Brown, still in the last call zone.
Oh, I could have
and
wore my
Pacheco.
Hollywood Brown jersey. Damn. If I
I'm
would've
so
thought
glad
about
that
being the riser.
we're the show that brings you the latest on Christian Kirk, Darnell Mooney, Malik Washington, Emmanuel Wilson.
You know
in
the
March.
saddest thing about this list is that
Ugh.
I think Christian Kirk is probably drawing pretty live to matter for fantasy football this year, which is just so disgusting.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it's possible.
Isn't Hollywood too?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm thinking
No.
we're just looking at like kind of an all-time Devonta Smith and then a lot of Saquon Barkley running. Like a
Goddard's
lot
back.
of Saquon Barkley
I
running.
mean,
This is March.
I don't think that the Eagles. I really don't think that the Eagles' plan is to trade AJ Brown and replace him with no one except for Hollywood Brown. Like I would assume that in the world where they're trading AJ Brown, they're drafting a wide receiver or they're
Yeah,
maybe
they're going to
trading
get
for
Matt
another
Collins
wide
back,
receiver.
dude. It'll be fine.
They're gonna
like
get
they'll-
Matt Collins back.
They'll do something, and I also assume like they go hyper consolidated. So I mean, I've been drafting. I think Devonta Smith is probably. I don't know because I'm in like a bunch of slows, but I would guess when they finish, Smith will be my most drafted player because I'm pretty bullish on the Brown trade happening, and he could be, I think, like a monster win in the 4th.
Yeah.
And I like Goddard as well, but I think it'll just consolidate mostly on those guys and more to Saquon. I mean, Hollywood, I guess it would be
Saquon's
draftable.
honestly a pretty good pick right now.
Yeah, I like
I'm
Saquon.
taking a lot of Saquon.
I like Saquon.
Mid second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine with him.
For
Alright.
sure.
Saquon
I
or
feel like
Achane, Pat?
Saquon, and we have Saquon ahead.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I feel like the wind is just like whistling through this like hollowed out town of risers. That's what it sounds like. I don't know what that was I heard, but I think it's kind of the
Risersburg
tumbleweed.
Is
just
your
went by.
is your
Sounding
Emmanuel
desolate.
Wilson ranking? Is that just like a high degree of confidence in Seattle drafting an early running back, or are you into George Halani? Or are you into
No,
Charbonnet?
it's that I think that they're a team that's gonna draft a running back, and I also like Emmanuel Wilson. Like I don't know, there's like this tier of best ball pick, especially early, that's like you're gonna cut this guy. These are guys we draft and cut.
Yeah,
Or draft
yeah,
and cuts.
Yeah, main event.
FFPC
It's,
draft
we
and cuts.
we draft him, and I say, man, it's gonna be so sick to cut
I
that guy in
can't
the
wait
first
to
waiver
cut
run.
Emmanuel Wilson. Well, guess what? You can't do in best ball. You can't cut this guy. So I don't take Emmanuel Wilson. I take Chris Brazel or friggin', Zachariah Branch or Jeremy Bernard. Like I take all those dudes who are pretty likely to at least be playing at the end of the year. I don't want to be in a position where I need Emmanuel Wilson. I don't think he's a particularly strong bet, even with the Seattle depth chart being currently open.
So what's your construction then? Like if you're not if you're deferring
a
on
lot of
Wilson or
hyperfragile.
Wilson's for all wide receivers, like are you just every draft you're just loading up on the RBs the first few rounds?
I do. I take a lot
the
of
mid range of
hyperfragile.
running back sucks. So like,
Well, the mid range. I mean, do you mean like round 9 and 10? Because I agree with you then. But like,
yeah, I mean, like I don't like the running backs for a while starting in like round 7. Honestly,
sure. Yeah. But you can get three running backs before that pretty easily, and then like you can take. Yeah. We don't mind like some of these like older like Rashad White or an Aaron Jones and shit like that. Like you can tack that on as a running back 4, and be done. Like get 3 running backs, tack on one of those guys before, or you can do like a Nick Singleton, that kind of thing. I think is totally fine, but the Emmanuel Wilson, where you're like, I don't know, maybe he like gets some run, but he's like not very good, I don't think. And he might not be the guy I actually want, even if it is a veteran in Seattle. And they're very, very live to draft someone. So by the end of the season, he might not matter at all, even if he does get early season run. It's just like, yeah, if they don't draft someone, then I will take Emmanuel Wilson at an increased cost. But I just don't think he has the upside to potentially worth, burning a roster spot and changing my roster construction away from just like get your running backs early generally right now.
Denver.
It's not like you have to go like 4 straight running backs either. You can go like wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, running back. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
4 receivers on the Broncos in the wake of the Waddle trade. Troy Franklin.
Dude, the people
Cortland
drafting
Sutton, Marvin Mims. Davis.
The people drafting Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant right now, you guys have to find God, man. They're still getting 100% drafted. They still go every time. You guys got to do something else.
Actually, quick update on Philadelphia. They just signed Elijah Moore.
Oh, solved.
That is the most Howie Roseman ass signing. Like nobody loves a name we know more than Howie Roseman.
He's like, dude, look how high he is in the mock draft consensus from 2020.
Elijah Moore and Hollywood Brown is some classic Howie Roseman shit right there.
Yeah,
Bills tried
it really is.
Yeah, we tried it with Jahan Dotson, and that didn't work. So what if we try Elijah Moore?
Do you think Howie has like challenges, like personal challenges, and one of them's like trade Elijah Moore back to the Jets? like he's just like, if I can do that, you know what I mean? Like it's like he's already beaten the video game, and now he just has like random tasks that he gets assigned. It's starting to feel like that.
I'm in a baseball league, Pat, where one guy just only drafts Yankees. So sometimes the strategy is to draft the Yankees to trade him to Steve. I mean, that's just
there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
It's one way to play it.
Yeah. He's gonna send Tanner McKee and Elijah Moore back to the Jets and get a 2nd round pick.
We talked about Denver a little bit last week after Waddle happened. Franklin was a no. I mean, what does that do for Mims? Not much. Pat Bryant, anybody? Maybe? Is there life?
Not really.
If
I think
you
he has more life
held
than
me
Franklin,
at gunpoint and you were like one of Franklin, Bryant, or Mims, you have to take one. I would take Bryant, but I don't know. I don't see any guns. I live in Canada. We have restrictions on that kind of thing.
I thought there's a lot of guns in Canada. Isn't gun ownership pretty high?
Well, if you can have long guns and you put it with a registry and you take down a moose, but like they're not threatening me anyway. So if and when a hunter gets me out in the back of their F-150, then I start my Pat Bryant exposure is going to start climbing. But until such time, I merely click Jaylen Waddle and J.K. Dobbins. Can you
Denver
just
Broncos.
send
me your exposures every couple of days just so I know you're safe?
Yeah, I will. You can live track that, and if you start to see the Pat Bryant number,
he got out of Mexico.
Right. Well, no,
you got to at least have some faith in Jacob. He got out of Mexico.
That's true
at the time. So he's proven.
But where are you guys at on Sutton? Because I don't like Sutton. Like Sutton to me, I was like,
I've got Sutton at like 110. This is
okay.
fucking
I have him
insane.
higher than you, but I still have him so far below ADP that it's a distinction without a difference.
Before
like
the
I have him
trade. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I have him at 99, so like 2 rounds higher than your ranking, but that's still 2 rounds lower than ADP. So I don't anticipate drafting him anytime soon.
I drafted a hyper fragile team, and then I I got tagged in the Spike Week Discord, and they were kind of like, it was all fun and games, but they were like, hey, what's up with these dusty ass wide receivers? And I'm like, I don't know, like Josh Downs, like I might have had Shakir or Jaden Reed. Actually, I think I had it on that team.
Oh
like,
yeah,
these guys
that's a great team right there.
Yeah, like these guys can play. Like
Josh Downs and Jaden Reed. Whew.
It's like no, those dudes are like you're like paying for routes or whatever. I'm like, I'm not paying anything. I'm not paying. These guys are very low cost.
Yeah, you're also not getting that many routes.
If you're
Josh Downs and Jaden Reed,
don't even run routes. Yeah. But I was like searching around for. I was like, if I'm paying for situation, that would be like drafting Cortland Sutton, who was going in like the 6th round at the time. That's how I felt. He was like the quintessential like fragile wide receiver before they traded a first for Waddle.
Yeah, totally.
So I like the Sutton cope of like he's gonna outscore Waddle and stuff. Like I don't get that at all. Like they've been trying to move on from this guy as their wide receiver 1 for a while, and guess what? They just did. They traded a first for another guy.
So I have no interest in Sutton, and I had no interest in Sutton before, and I still don't. He's basically regressed to the talent level of Romeo Doubs. So like pre-Waddle, Sutton was just Dobbs on the Patriots, but like on the Broncos, so like a worse situation. Like he's like an 18% targets per out run guy. The only appeal of him was like he will run every single route.
Right.
And now I'm not even sure he will. The only thing that does concern me about Sutton, just for Waddle, because we had your rank up on Waddle last time. I don't know if it's changed in a week, but it was quite a bit higher, at least in my initial.
We came
one.
down. So yeah, we changed all the inputs and stuff, but then as we're going through and the sims we're getting to see like what the sims think now. He wasn't really being recommended as high as I thought he might be, so I brought down his ranking in the leg up rank.
Where do you have Waddle now?
41.
Okay.
No,
so now we're basically
41. Yeah.
So now I'm actually even a little bit higher. I'm at 39.
Okay.
But we're basically the same there. And my only concern for Waddle as it pertains to Sutton is just Sean Payton, historically, there's one wide receiver that runs all the routes and everybody else interchanges. And I assume that Waddle will be the one who runs the bulk of the routes, or maybe they just interchange less and both of them run all the routes this year. But it is like Sutton's going to play X for them, I think almost certainly, and Waddle's going to play slot flanker. And so it's possible to me that you get a little bit annoyed with the amount of routes that Sutton has. I think Waddle will easily outscore him, even if he runs fewer routes. But it's just one slight risk factor with Waddle specifically, because Waddle's never really ran all the routes. He's always been limited in that way.
Fair.
Like even back to Alabama, he's had his routes limited.
Just on this, he had a 4-year, $92 million contract is a funny way of moving on. I would note they can cut him and save like $13 million after the season. So this move, I mean, that was tradable now, and they will. So this signals, I think it is Sutton's last year in Denver. They can't move on now because of that contract that he signed, 2 years ago.
And they wouldn't want to.
Yeah, he's a useful player. Yeah, I think Pat Bryant can do anything Sutton can do, to be honest.
I don't know. I don't know that Pat Bryant's that good, so I would still want Sutton over Bryant. But you're going to save 13 mil by moving on next year, and I think they do.
Speaking of Sean Payton wide receivers, little trivia in the next slide. I can't play because I've looked ahead. Last Sean Payton wide receiver duo to both finish wide receiver 36 or better.
I love the ongoing bit of using T. Higgins' headshot silhouette. One of these is obviously Michael Thomas.
It's Michael Thomas. I'm gonna guess. Would he have overlapped? Would Olave
guess.
have been?
I'm gonna guess Thomas and Kenny Stills.
I was gonna guess Thomas and Willie Snead.
Oh, that's probably it.
No one has it.
Meacham, Henderson.
Meacham was
Lance Moore.
No.
No, okay. Thomas started with it was him. Well, him and Cooks.
Nope.
Colston.
Nope.
Did they overlap?
Is Thomas one of them?
Thomas.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thomas's rookie year. Thomas's rookie year was with Cooks and Snead, but it's neither of them. They moved on from
Henderson.
them. No, Henderson's too early, but they had another guy that was fast. Ginn. Was it Ginn?
Ted
Correct.
Ginn Jr.
Oh
Holy
my God.
Shit.
Disgusting. All right. I guess we're the free agents.
Where do you land? All right.
Deebo picture.
That's tough.
Jauan Jennings,
That is
Stefon
tough.
Diggs, Deebo Samuel, Tyreek Hill. I'd like to hear you guys on Jennings. What happens?
What I'd like to hear these two on Jennings because
I think
thought
Kyle
he-
Shanahan is giving poor character references. It's like what I'm thinking. I think Jauan Jennings has like Kyle Shanahan's number on his cover letter, and the new employers are calling, and Kyle's like giving what's the line from Mean Girls? Do not trust her. She's a fugly slut. I think that's what Kyle Shanahan is saying about Jauan Jennings.
Dude, at what point can like these ex-Shanahan receivers kind of band together and strike back and give him?
I know.
You know, like it's nuts. I don't know. It is tough with Jennings where his best outcome was to go back to the 49ers. So
Yeah, but he burned his bridge by getting in like 17 different yelling matches with his coach last year.
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where
I
is
haven't
the
found
spot
myself
if-
interested in
if-
Jauan Jennings.
So I have found myself interested in him, but I'm now running into like, where do I hope he signs? Best case scenario
anywhere.
is where?
Houston?
No,
No,
Houston
Houston's
Houston has a
trash.
huge
Chargers
market.
would be solid, I think.
Chargers
be all right.
Cowboys.
I mean, the
Cowboys?
Commanders would have been good, but the reports are
Already
they're
kinda
not
crowded.
interested.
Well, they're gonna trade. They're gonna trade for Ayuk. They're just waiting. They're
Oh,
just
I
waiting
mean-
for the Ford. Yeah.
I mean, what about the Dolphins? I know they're never going to pass, but they do need receivers, and Slowick has a connection to Jennings.
For better or worse?
There's worse outcomes. There's worse outcomes at this point.
You know, what'd be a good one is the Falcons. They don't
Yeah,
really need him
Falcons would be
though,
good.
because London like already does everything Jennings does.
Well, London plays outside. Wouldn't you have Jennings in the slot?
You know what? It's the Falcons.
Yeah, well,
It's
but London
the
moves
Falcons have
inside
the Falcons
sometimes
have the
because they
biggest
do
need.
like the big slot stuff and they
Yeah.
do the block inserting with him.
Saints?
Yeah, they could use a wide receiver too for sure.
For sure. Yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
call.
who's the Saints wide receiver 2 right now?
Ted
Bud
Ginn.
means.
Sounds like it's going to be Jauan Jennings.
Yeah, it should
I think
be
it's
Jauan
just. I
Jennings.
think it's
There we go.
Devon Bailey.
Oh yeah, it is Devon. But Vele is like a Jennings type too, so
Is he?
yeah.
What is Bailey?
Yeah.
Is he a type of anything?
Well, he's bad,
30.
but he's definitely a
30.
Jennings type. He's like a
30.
big slot receiver.
He's a millennial. We know that.
So when I was building the slap model, Devon Vele was so old. He was the oldest guy in the cohort by so much that initially he got his breakout age being 26, like completely broke the code of what I was building. Like it took me like probably an hour to like work through like what do you even do with the 26-year-old breakout age, like to figure out how to fold that in. It was insane. Devon Bailey,
Yeah,
Saints
oh,
wide
man.
receiver too.
For now. Diggs?
I assume
mean-
people are waiting and seeing on his legal status.
Yeah.
Sam Sherman is in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, Diggs was 12th in the NFL amongst qualifying players in yards per route run. I don't think he's got a ton left. I don't think he's like great, but assuming
he's
his
fine.
legal status ends up being for the NFL a nothing burger, he will sign and play.
I
for
think he's going to
someone.
sign this summer and play for someone. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you guys think? I mean, I think with Deebo, Jennings, and Diggs, we're reaching a point where they might just wait until after the draft and sign post-draft since it's a fairly deep wide receiver class. But, I mean, Tyreek's the guy where you're actually worried that he just doesn't play this year.
Well, and the teams are incentivized to wait until post-draft because you sign them post-draft, you don't give up a comp pick.
Right. Yeah, good point.
Smart.
So if
Yeah.
you've already waited it out at this point, you only count against the comp pick formula if it's pre-draft.
Yep. All right.
Ballers.
Fallers.
Kamara. Theo Johnson. All right. Deebo Samuel, Trey Benson, Michael Penix, Bucky Irving, Diggs, Woody Marks, Jennings. Who stands out?
What a gross list of players. Bucky's getting
Time-
closer to where I'm getting interested. I felt like this fall was very predictable, just based on the tenor of how people discuss him. I'd be really interested if we could get him into like the mid 4th, and you're pricing in a lot of the role concerns, and then you just get the upside of like, what if he's just way better than Kenny Gainwell because he's healthy and not coming off of this 8-week injury, and you get the role that he had at the beginning of last year. So I hope he keeps falling. He's not quite at my ranking yet, but I think he's getting there soon.
Yeah, I would like mid 4th, mid to late 4th Bucky.
I love being vindicated on a prospect take 3 years later of being lower than everyone on Bucky Irving, watching Bucky Irving blocker stuff me. This is crazy. I looked this up today.
But are you vindicated? Because
I don't think you're vindicated
this high. Yeah, like he's already.
He was a day 3 back who's currently going in the 4th round.
As I said, I love being vindicated on a prospect take years later. I was right about Odell Beckham famously.
I don't think you've been vindicated. He's substantially better
you're
than you thought
still
he
not
was.
vindicated. Like, he can fall another round and you won't be vindicated.
He can fall 7 more rounds. He's still better than what you paid for him.
Subjective. It's a matter of opinion. Bucky Irving, 0 touches inside the 5 last year. 0 for a whole season. Crazy.
Well, not much of a whole season because he.
No, I guess not.
The whole season is kind of the part over there falls down.
Still.
Well, Love Stars is into Benson.
Yeah, the thing with Benson, I think
he might never play in the NFL again.
Yeah,
he might just
Jeff Mueller
done.
he mentioned that the meniscus tear, or maybe it was Deepak Jonah. Someone mentioned that.
No, it was Mueller. Yeah,
it was Mueller. Yeah, the fact that he never returned from the meniscus tear is pretty concerning for like structural or cartilage damage or whatever.
He used the term degenerative knee.
Okay, so we're
Not
and
the word
then
you want.
this is a team that signed Tyler Algier, that reworked Connor's contract, so he's still there. I think we can't count on anything with Benson.
The Trey Benson, the Trey Benson camp cut percentage, I would put it like 41%.
I think you'd want to fold in some kind of like training camp pup.
Okay,
like
sure.
Season-ending IR thing, because I think they could probably get.
I'll change it to I'll put it this way: 41% chance he's not on the active roster in the first week of the season. By
I'll take the over. I'll take the
either
over.
cut or
I think he's like 50-50.
Or pup, 50-50. Sure.
Yeah.
Add in healthy scratch, you might even get up to like 60 or 70.
Higher.
I think we have him in the 200. And I think I'm gonna make a note to lower him.
Anything on Kamara at this point?
No.
He can't. He's like so washed.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think he's. All right, NFL draft
Let's
right,
talk
guys.
some
These are new
rookies.
players that we can get excited about.
This is
We need this.
Now we can have some fun.
This
Oh
is
my
exactly
God.
what we need.
Let's go.
This show. I listened to last week's show and I was so jealous. It was like you guys had all these great conversations, and I was like, I thought maybe I'd be able to jump on, and then it turned out I couldn't. And, man, this show's depressing as hell.
Because this week we're sticking to the slides. That's the problem. The slides are weighing us down. This is the most we've ever let the slides guide us, and it's leading us to talk about Jauan Jennings and Trey Benson's degenerative knee.
Oh my!
I actually
God.
have a take. I'd like to fire off as we get here.
Please, yeah, get us off course.
Omar Cooper Jr. is the rookie wide receiver for people who like to take veteran wide receivers in fantasy football.
Is he? Because like Omar Cooper is also like a per routes numbers are way better than overall production guy. He's like a really, really high missed tackles forced guy. Like I'm kind of into Omar Cooper. I don't know why everybody in like the data community has kind of written him off. I think he's kind of interesting. I would draft him in round 1 of the NFL draft, but the team looks like they're going to.
Somebody could.
He's interesting in that I have to be interested because he's probably going to go round 1. That's how interesting he is.
Would you happen to guess who has a higher career yards per route run between Carnell Tate and Omar Cooper Jr.?
Well, this also aligns with my brand, as you know.
Don't look at the fact that one of them played an extra year and the other one played next to Jeremiah Smith. But if you don't factor that in.
Not just Jeremiah Smith. I mean, he's like his freshman year was with Harrison there and Ibuka, and then Ibuka's there his sophomore year with Smith, and then Smith's there his final season, which was actually really impressive. So, I don't know. Who cares? I couldn't care less. The other thing with Omar Cooper is that, like, and and I think this really matters when you're looking at efficiency stuff. Like, do something as an underclassman. Do something as an underclassman. He just wasn't. He wasn't. Surratt was more productive than him when they were both underclassmen.
If he goes round 1, it's Buffalo, Seattle. It could be pretty sexy.
Yeah, I literally just took him this morning in a mock draft on the ETR pod. So like we're ahead of ADP.
He's a great. Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable.
You just can't make
me
the
excited. Best ball ADP hasn't. I mean, like I like him way more than I liked Matthew Golden last year, like by a mile. And Matthew Golden steamed up to round 7. I think Golden's the worst player that's ever been drafted in round 1 at the wide receiver position.
I mean,
okay,
it's be hard.
I liked Henry Ruggs' profile considerably more.
Philip Dorsett was a round 1 wide receiver.
Yeah, well, okay, Dorsett was probably actually worse. That might be the only one that's worse.
John Baldwin, AJ Jenkins.
Dorsett was like radicalizing for me. Like I was like, what? there is truly an edge. This guy around 1 pick. It was nuts.
I remember when Grigson drafted Dorsett, and I was already like fuming because I had like a whole bunch of players that was like on my radar that I hope the Colts take. Dorsett couldn't have been anywhere near it. Like he wasn't even close to my radar. And Grigson comes out the next morning and he's like, "We couldn't believe he was there. We had him ranked in our top 15." And it was like, what world are you living in? Like, Philip Dorsett.
The Packers
I don't know.
wait to tell their Lambeau Field fans that they have drafted a wide receiver in the first round. They had to do it.
Cooper, yeah. But point is, Cooper's going in round 1. It's happening. And we all need to just get on board with that. And so if you want to fade him in Dynasty, go for it. But like in best ball, this guy is going to be like a round 8 pick in the summer, so you might as well take him.
You might as well take him
in round 11 now, because you're not going to want to take. If you don't like him in his cost today, you're certainly not going to like his cost in July.
And his draft stock's gotten more and more like locked in. It's not a guarantee he goes first round, obviously, but it seems pretty likely now that he's at least in that early second round range, if not late first. And early on, things are kind of fluid. Like people were like, "Oh, Malachi Fields might go first round after the Senior Bowl and stuff like that." Like, at first, you're like, "Okay, like first round buzz." Like we're gonna stay skeptical.
Yeah, what's up with the Malachi Fields stuff? That guy stinks.
Yeah, I'm not a big Malachi Fields guy, but yeah, I mean, it's at this point, it feels like a drumbeat. There's enough weight behind it that I do think Cooper probably does go late first. So
he's 4th highest now on mock draft database. He's flipped Boston and Concepcion.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I would much rather have Concepcion.
Me too.
Oh, I would too. I would for sure. I like Cooper more than Boston though. I think I do.
Where's Ted Hurst?
That same draft.
I don't really dislike that take. I mean, I think that's. I might agree with you.
Anybody for Ted Hurst? Day 2?
We like Ted Hurst.
I like Ted Hurst.
Super
Yeah,
Ted Hurst. I like Ted Hurst a lot.
Yeah.
That's right.
We all
Last
like
week,
Ted Hurst.
the name. That's right.
I like Bryce Lance. I'm assume Kareem does. Jacob doesn't.
Stunning.
And,
I don't. I'm not a big Bryce Lance guy.
Okay, well, okay. Then not that surprising. I'd be alone on Bryce Lance Island. And Mike Washington.
You like an FCS guy who's big and fast? That's stunning.
I'm a simple man, simple joy. Everything in life can be distilled down to the beauty that you find in it. And the simpler your pleasures, the more joy you will consistently find, Jacob.
Jacob says Davis has a type. Davis is like, he breaks into Play-Doh.
Yeah.
I'm like Davis has a type, and he goes in the back to grab 13 Playboy magazines with the same model on it.
And it's all members of the Lance. It's all members of the Lance family. It's all different.
It's true.
It's all
related.
Yeah.
Related. Malachi Fields is on the next slide, by the way, the draft fallers, since you guys brought him
up.
Well,
let's talk through Mike Washington now. I'm like, this is like the worst thing ever, because I'm like semi-capitulating every day, and then he like rises more.
Well, welcome to my August experience of Matthew Golden. Just stay strong, Pat. Stay strong.
Mike Washington, but like, I am factoring in all the information that we all have. Like, I'm not trying to be like stubborn and put my head in the sand. I'm trying to be like, yeah, it looks like this guy could seriously go round 2. Like, it's plausible. It's not entirely out of the question that he goes like 32 to the Seahawks. It could happen. But also, like, dude, like, I'm pretty sure fucking sucks. Like, are we allowed to still talk about that? Like, he didn't do anything.
It doesn't. But Kareem, you have to acknowledge that all the
absolutely mogged by Seth McGowan on New Mexico State.
Yeah. And
the vast majority of our research indicates this stuff doesn't matter, though. If he ends up being,
yes, it does.
It does.
It matters.
He's the 32nd pick in the NFL draft. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. There's all sorts of running back busts.
You guys are so full of shit. If he is the 32nd pick to the Seahawks, he's going to be a 7th round pick in fantasy.
Sure.
Yeah, and he'll be probably bad.
Well, we can start talking.
Right. You know who else was a late first? Rashad Penny and Sony Michel. I guess had one decent year, but not his rookie year, and not any of his other years.
Him $2 million. People forget.
Oh,
$1 million.
Well, and a lot of good that did for our world.
I'm betting on Mike. Well, I mean, obviously, I like Mike Washington Jr. because of the RAS, but I just think he's going to go high in the NFL draft. I think I
agree with you that's probably happening.
The poor quality of the class. By the way, if you got CEH's rookie season at Mike Washington Jr.'s prices right now, you would be the #1 advance rate player. You'd be the guy you had to
CEH was at least the one thing you can say about CEH is he was a good pass catcher.
Good pass catcher.
Unequivocally was. Mike Washington is not.
With pick 32. This doesn't include the landing spot, which obviously would be great.
He's also not projected to go 32. He's projected to go like at the end of round 2.
I think he was 69 last time I checked. Pick 32, his top comp would be TJ Yeldon. Then Cam Akers, Damian Harris, Miles Sanders, and CJ Procise. That's if he binks first round draft capital.
How is Michael not in the comp list?
All right, let me run him and
how is Christine Michael not in the round 2 comp list?
I don't know that I have Christian Michael in here. I don't have Christian Michael in here. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, he
spiritually he's got to be in the list.
Spiritually, I'm gonna add him. Just give him all Mike Washington stuff so they stay cloned. Yeah. God. Now hang on, I have to back out. Mike Washington is a first round pick. Look, right. I also took Mike Washington in the ETR mock this morning, so I will acknowledge that at a certain point, and I took him at like 202 in the rookie draft.
I would like to run him on my stuff as a first round pick because I've not done this yet.
Yeah. At a certain point in rookie drafts and stuff where you're like, hey, I'm betting that he goes way higher than he should go, and I can benefit from that in a class where there's not that many great picks. Sure. But I don't know. It's like it's hard for me to get away from the fact in best ball that like I just don't believe in this player. Like and like he could be a third round pick still. That's where he's projected to go. Like if you go to mock draft database, he's still in the early third. He's 65. So this takes true for like one more day, and he'll be a second round pick tomorrow. But it's not like Jadarian Price is at 46. If he had that, then I'd be more on board with him, I think, where he goes now, but I just keep lagging behind.
Fair enough.
Stowers, Bernard, we talked about Lance. Anything on the other
Bernard's a great pick. I'm not that much. I think Bernard is like kind of like a John Mechie on the Alabama wide receiver scale, but he's somewhat interesting. Got blocked out by a lot of really good teammate competition early in his career, and probably going to go round 2 and is just free. So I'm definitely into him.
There's so many guys at the end of drafts that are like probably they have, not all of them will be second round picks, obviously, but I think a chunk of them will be, and you just get them for free. Just get them for free.
Yeah.
They're not going to be free if they go second round. What are we doing?
It's wild. That group of Brazel, Bernard. I don't know if Surratt actually goes as high, but probably day 2. Branch is probably going round 2. It's a nice group. I love stacking 2 or 3 of those on the end of every draft.
Yeah, me too. Lance, I'll look at because I think he's risen up the board a little bit. He looks like a little bit more likely to go round 3 than the last time I plugged him in. So maybe do you have any interest in Lance, Jacob, or is strictly,
like in theory, sure. It's just that there's so many guys at the end of drafts who I feel better about as both prospects and as draft capital projections that it's like hard for me to get to Bryce Lance. Mm-hmm. So I would be like actively trying to mix him in because like just even if guys that are past 200, like I like Surratt more, I like Brazel more, I like Branch more, I like Bernard more, I like Jacoby Lane more, I like Ted Hurst more. So I like Antonio Williams more. Then maybe I like Skylar Bell more too. And then maybe I'd get to Bryce Lance.
Yep. All right.
Fallers, Fields, Elijah Surratt, Jonah Coleman, Emmett Johnson, Jacoby Lane. Coleman, the highest ADP of the group here.
Well, Coleman is the only running back I actually like after Love, but he's the one that the NFL doesn't.
We sure?
I mean, no.
I'm getting.
He's trending.
Sure.
He's trending in the wrong direction. I mean, when things opened, he looked like he was going to be round 2, maybe round 3, and now he's looking more like round 3, maybe round 4, which is definitely the danger zone. I mean, if he goes round 4 and he goes to a spot with a wide open path to taking over a depth chart, I'm fine with him at this ADP. But you're trending toward the range of like, oh, he went and he's like the RB3 or he's a clear backup, and then it's just a dead pick. So it's tough.
Yeah, and like last year, right? We're like, guys, this running back class is so deep. Some of them are going to get pushed down. It's actually okay that like Cam Scatterbo went round 4, like that. He's got better draft capital than it seems like. Basically, I think that was a good take. Said the same thing about Bashal Tutin. Didn't produce as a rookie, but guess what? He's a starting running back on the Jaguars now. So good take. If Jonah Coleman falls to round 4 in this class, that's so gross. It's so gross. Like that also means something. Like this is a really thin running back class and not a strong draft class overall. Like this is a spot where if there was a running back who like wasn't good but tested really well, for example, he might go round 2. So like Jonah Coleman, I don't know. I'm worried he's not really a sufficient NFL athlete, to be honest. Like he couldn't have run a 4.65, 4.69. Couldn't have done that.
Neither could Scatterbo, dude.
Yeah, he ran a 4.65 at the combine. That's what I'm asking for. He skipped testing. Scatterbo didn't skip testing. He had awesome jumps in a 4.65.
Why?
Give me something sufficient. Coleman, he skipped it. Like it makes me worried. He's a bigger back. He's kind of like slower on tape to my eyes. So
he is slow.
Yeah,
it makes you wonder, like,
slow.
what if he's like a 4.76?
And 4.76 just doesn't cut it. That's like late day 3 stuff. So if teams are like, we think he's 4.76, and then he didn't disprove that notion, that's like potentially like cataclysmic for his outlook.
Yeah.
What if he goes to Cincinnati?
He ran that at his pro day. I'm sorry. Maybe it was his pro day.
What if he goes to Cincinnati?
I don't mind that in Dynasty. Buying. I don't like that in Best Ball at all.
Rams.
Why is
terrible?
Why is,
that's awful.
Yeah, that's awful.
Really bad.
Horrible.
Why is Jacoby Lane falling?
Just not getting a good projected draft capital.
I just really like him. I think maybe I have an internal USC bias that I need to hone in on. But I just really like Jacoby Lane. The first year that they all played together, Branch, Lane, and Lemon, Lane was the most efficient per route.
I kind of like Lane, but I'm worried about his draft capital.
It's also a weird archetype of player for today's NFL, like a 6'4", outside only guy. Doesn't fit every team for sure.
He's down to 109 on the consensus board, and that's where some of my lack of interest comes in. Yeah.
So how
I still
many
like Surratt is like to me he's like
Surratt.
a Imanor type of play where like he might go round 4 or something, but I think I could see him like on a depth chart that needs a receiver, like on Miami, like he could be the wide receiver 1 on Miami. Why not?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. People really want us to talk about the Puka news. Should we talk about the Puka news?
Yeah, I mean, this guy should just stop leaving his house, bro. Feels like every time Puka Nacua leaves his house, he does something dumb. If this is true, this is like
the bite mark does not look like a human mouth for what it's worth, like on the picture.
So if
that's the only part he's denied. I'm not sure that he is specifically denied making well, I mean, based on what we saw last year, it's pretty easy to believe that he would make anti-Semitic comments.
This guy's about to get $200 million, man. Stay inside your house. Same thing for Rashee Rice, bro. If you just stop committing crimes, you are gonna get a bag. Will you guys stop committing crimes, please? What are we doing?
I mean, this photo. The one thing I'll say for Puka is, like, again, this bite mark photo, like, does not look at all like a human mouth, but, like, I don't know who's to say, I guess. He seems like a very unreliable decision maker, most certainly. Yeah. And he seems like he should spend some time like consulting with like a rabbi in the area about no longer just like making extremely hateful comments towards Jewish people.
You gotta.
Maybe this comment that he may have denied the anti-Semitism, but not the bite.
Let me take a look.
The attorneys are denying everything.
Okay.
Yeah, he denies that Nacua. This is per Pro Football Talk.
Okay.
Catherine, who I think is his lawyer, denies Nacua made anti-Semitic comments. But I think I saw something that Levi McCatherine dismissed the conduct as, quote, horseplay.
Oh my God, bro, come on.
Oh, the group was partying. There was some horseplay resulting in the bite. Okay, so they're not denying the bite. Oh man.
That's
bad.
Like, you know how when I say, like, I like when these stories come out about the wide receivers being total divas, this is not what I meant. Like, what I mean is what I would like is for Puka Nacua to, like, the story to be Puka Nacua spent $2.7 million on like a Fortnite chain or something, like the most like absurd.
Yeah, well, Davis, we can't rule that out.
we can't rule it out. God. But what I certainly don't mean is when I say acting like a diva, I mean more Randy Moss or Terrell Owens or Keyshawn Johnson than Antonio Brown. Like if you're thinking of which order, it's not the Antonio Brown order. It's more writing a book called "Throw Me the Damn Ball."
How he dresses.
Is what
you want him to dress like a diva more than act like one.
Yes, certainly.
What I had read, Jacob, was one of these tweets said denied all claims, so I took that to mean.
Okay. I don't like the comment about horseplay. Like
not loving that.
I don't love that.
That's not what I want to hear. I don't want to hear we're just horsing around.
We were just having fun.
Well, there's this thing that's
biting
going
each other,
now.
Just horsing around with our teeth out.
So like
that's what Dracula does when he's horsing around.
That's not cool.
They're all spending time with like new celebrities, like Gen Z celebrities who are like.
Well, he hangs out with Aiden Ross. Don't hang out with Aiden Ross. Stop.
Yeah, these are bad people. Like it used to be you'd go and be a famous football player and you'd go be around like A-list movie stars, right? Because that was the type of society that you've gotten access to. Now it's like, let me go on model. Yeah. And now it's like, let me go be with the worst fucking people on kick.com instead.
The only independent content creator you're allowed to hang out with if you're Puka Nacua is Kay Adams. Like you can't go any more online than Kay Adams. If she wants to interview you, don't bite and like don't bite Kay Adams. Do not do that. Definitely don't horse around with her. But like what would you if the prediction market said like 1% and you could buy for 1 cent Puka Nacua appears on a Nick Fuentes stream in the next 4 years, like it's like stay off the internet, Puka.
Stay off the internet. Stay off the internet.
He says as he takes a prediction market prop on a Nick Fuentes Puka Nacua.
I shouldn't be on the internet either.
Look, I'm not in the NFL.
That's too much.
I can go. I can horse around all I like.
Puka Nacua is causing me to have introspection.
It's good advice for all of us. Get off the internet. Go for a walk. Put your phone in the desk drawer. Go. It's good advice for Puka Nacua and for all of us.
Get outside. The weather's turning. Spring is in the air.
It is. Felon maxing. Puka is felon maxing.
I would say
you don't want to be felon maxing.
No, don't felon max.
Yeah, crime maxing maybe.
No.
Don't do it. Yeah, enough.
Enough.
He's like so close to a massive contract extension. These guys need to just figure it out, man.
He would top JSN.
For
Yeah,
sure.
he'd
Yes.
have $180 million incoming.
Yeah.
Don't horse around.
All right. Next slide.
News and notes. Kelsey back. Wentz. Wow. Mina Kimes, Davis voice. Love it. On the Carson Wentz line. Tanner McKee, Andy Dalton, Jake Bobo, Kenny McIntosh, Isaac TeSlaa, Brian Robinson to Atlanta, Travis Homer. Nice little hat tip to you, Davis, on the Wentz note, right? What an indictment of the NFL's development pipeline.
You know, I do hope someday to meet Mina Kimes and just to very casually ask her opinion on Riley Leonard. Just be like, do you think Riley Leonard has been served by the Indianapolis Colts organization, or do you think he has been underserved?
I would ask her if she really thinks Wowie Zowie is the best Pavement album, or if she just thinks it matches the aesthetic of her background.
This TeSlaa thing.
Album. Yes.
Like, Slanted Enchanted is way better.
Don't you guys think this TeSlaa thing is kind of sneaky? No Raymond. We all kind of think it's a weak wide receiver class.
Yes.
Laporta's coming back from injury. The guy had 19 touchdowns on 20 targets last season, I think, based on my quick napkin math. I know TeSlaa is like basically just like, what if Bryce Lance was white and went to Hilldale College? Like, I know this is just a very me type player, not productive his final season at Arkansas. But what
or
if,
ever.
Dude?
Not let's not just think about that season.
I believe he was very productive at Hilldale.
Okay, I couldn't care less.
I believe he was very productive at Hilldale.
Yeah, and I believe him and Curly put up great stats in Oklahoma.
When we update the intro, I'm requesting.
I believe he was productive at Hilldale.
That's so good.
It's giving me Aaron Millett vibes. It's giving me, what if Aaron Millett got to play in this version of the NFL? That's a deep cut for real Rotoviz heads from back in the day.
Like, how many routes would he have to run for you to be interested? Like, if he ran like,
I'm already
routes,
interested.
Would you care?
I'm already
so like 300
interested.
routes would be enough for him to make an impact, you think?
So 300 routes. How many do you pray?
He'll run 300.
14 touchdowns probably on 300.
Because he ran 296 routes last year.
He's gonna run 500. He's gonna run 500.
He's not gonna run
He did
500.
a bunch of nothing.
He's not running 500 unless Jameson or Amon-Ra get hurt, because they're not gonna have three wide receivers on
he's gonna run
500
about
routes on a team that runs
350 routes.
that much 12%. No. Yeah, and it doesn't matter. He doesn't do anything. He's gonna have 18 targets for 18 catches and 18 touchdowns, but like nothing else.
I mean, if he catches 18 touchdowns, you're gonna want to have had him.
I did look at it. He was actually quite productive at Hilldale. He had 1,313 in his last season.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, brother. Very productive at Hilldale.
ADP Chasing would like to issue a correction.
Yes.
Isaac TeSlaa.
You do in fact got
He was named to him. He was named. Wait for this, Davis. He was named second team All Great Midwest Athletic Conference. Not even first.
Apologize to Caleb Williams and apologize to Isaac TeSlaa.
I would just like to give Davis credit for being vindicated on a prospect take a year later.
I want to mean this very seriously. It seems like I'm doing a bit, but I think that he is a very good pick for two reasons. The first being I do think he can scale up in routes, and two, they have nothing behind him. So if he can play at all, he's got pretty good.
You mean they have nothing behind Jameson Williams, because the nothing includes Mr. Hilldale.
Think of him like Andre Yoshivas with a 10 RAS. Does that do anything for you?
No, because I don't give a shit about RAS at the wide receiver position. It has no correlation to production. Actually, it does. It has a negative correlation.
It is a negative correlation when you control for draft capital, but if you do without controlling for draft capital, the correlation is actually positive. And the draft
he got drafted higher than he should have because he tested well.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, they traded future. I mean, how do you weight that?
Yeah, and that was Isaac TeSlaa is literally why draft capital production is
he's
negatively
actually
correlated
why
because
we're
goofy
asking
NFL teams do shit like this.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything outside of Hilldale, obviously. Until he ran a 9.92 RAS, he wasn't going to get drafted very highly. So that's why we know his name. We shouldn't triple count it.
Where do you guys have Kelsey ranked among tight ends?
Oh, pretty high. I'm into Kelsey.
I just picked him.
He was the tight end 3 last year in points per game.
Wow.
Did you guys see the Roto Pat and Denny segment? It was like exactly what you would want out of a Roto Pat and Denny segment. It was incredible.
No, I haven't seen that yet. I put that on like 5 minutes before this podcast, and then I was like,
they were just talking about Kenyon Sadiq and how he's never produced and never done anything, and they were like going through the other tight ends near him, and he was like, they're like, yeah, like clearly Jake Ferguson is going to outscore him. They were like, Travis Kelce will triple his production and goes 2 rounds after him.
Like,
we'll at least triple it.
He will pretty easily triple Kenyon Sadiq's production, right? Like not even an upset that happens. Like Travis Kelce is gonna look slow. He's gonna drop some passes, and then it's gonna be week 14. You're gonna check. He's gonna be like, it's week 14. He has 764 yards and 7 touchdowns. How did that happen? He's looked terrible the whole time. Just name of the game.
That's right. Want to get to Washington?
Yeah, I'm into Kelsey.
Yes, I'm very excited about this segment actually.
Yeah,
because I wanted to get Pat's thoughts on this.
This is the new Colts tight ends.
I've been thinking about this all week, and I think I've now firmly come around to they paid Rachaad White nothing. Rachaad White is giga ass at running the ball. Did we actually come all the way back around to if they don't take Jeremiah Love, JCM actually is going to be a good fantasy pick again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because at first I thought the Rachaad White thing
is just
so
a huge
bad
if
for him. Yeah.
It's just a huge if.
Why was the Rachaad White thing so bad?
Because he can be deployed in a 3. He can be deployed in a 3-down role. And he's boys with Jaden Daniels, which I think does carry weight.
He's also not terrible at the things that Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt isn't going to be doing at all. So,
but that's why I don't really care. It's like they're separate and distinct entities.
Well, he just makes first of all, he makes Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt's floor quite a bit lower because if they add anybody, if they add Mike Washington, Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt could be nothing. Because now Rachaad White's coming. There's now one role, right? And it's not going to be split up among a couple guys who aren't quite a fit for it. There's a guy, Rachaad White's going to do the 3rd down stuff, very likely. And then Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt's competing, probably with some rookie, and that rookie might be an awesome prospect in Jeremiah Love. But even if it's not, even if it's Price or Mike Washington or Emmett Johnson, I think might be a problem for him. I don't know. It's just I'm not sure do you win that much if you bank it, if it's no Love and if they don't draft anyone, is it a big win?
So I take your point. My only pushback would be that exactly what you just said would be true if Rachaad White was just completely removed from the roster, because I still would be Jerome Ford and or Jeremy McNichols is doing all the 3rd down stuff. And if the Commanders draft Mike Washington, then there's 2 guys for 1 role. So I just don't think, I think White is just immaterial to JCM mostly.
Yeah, I think McNichols could go away a little bit more easily than White, but I take your point.
But everyone else on this roster is an infinitely better passing down back than JCM is. If it wasn't White, it'd be Ford. If it wasn't Ford, it'd be JCM playing in those situations is never happening for reasons that I think mostly have to do with JCM.
Well, it's never happening on 3rd and 13, but I don't know that if it was him and let's say in a world where it's just him and Chris Rodriguez were the kind of the 2 main backs here, they could
but I just don't think an NFL team would ever do that.
Well, they're doing this. Unless they aren't.
This makes sense. This is to me it's actually a pretty good backfield they put together here for nothing.
Oh, if this is their week 1 backfield, it's a problem.
No, they're going to be
spend anything on running backs, and this is what you came up with.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They have 2 explosive backs who are going to be next to Jayden Daniels, Ford and Krosky Merritt.
Ford is not explosive.
He's more efficient than you think.
When are we talking? Like from what?
Like from 2020, from
we're doing
2024.
We're doing Jerome Ford propaganda in the Big 2-6,
Jerome
brother.
Ford's
I'm gonna need you to
explosive
shut
now?
it the fuck down, dude.
I don't mind Jerome Ford.
No,
Jerome Ford is not explosive.
He's a fast guy.
no. Chess Liam ass take, Jacob.
I don't. Jerome Ford was rock solid in 2024, and he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. But I think this. I guarantee. I'm willing to bet, like whatever you'd like, that if they don't draft a running back on day 1 or day 2, and that this is their backfield, they'll be top 10 in EPA per rush. I'll happily book that.
I mean, all you're saying is Jayden Daniels is good. You're just telling me Jayden Daniels is good.
Yeah. Yeah, and they got a guy to pass block for him, and they got
good.
2 guys to run fast through wide open lanes. That's all you need. They're going to be fine. But I think they're going to take Jeremiah Love. I have both. I take more umbrage with your positive ranking on White than your negative ranking on JCM.
Well, I think White, to me, like Ja'Cory. So here's one thing. I don't think Chris Rodriguez is any good. Like to Davis's point, he's been put on the practice squad, more times than we can count with it while staying awake. And
right, I'm gonna find the actual number.
You have, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt coming in. I liked Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt last year. I was a big supporter of drafting him. We didn't know what he was, and he was like tearing up training camp, and people were super excited about him. And then they trade Brian Robinson, and it's like, this guy's going to be our starter. They rolled out the red carpet, like, okay, here's the job. And he didn't really take the job. Because he was a rookie, we still like kind of got there a little in week 16 or 17. When did he actually spike? At the end of the season,
he had 25 points in week 17. Just for
so we kind of got there.
Sharer.
But this is the thing this is why the rookie bets are so great, because like we can be wrong and still kind of get there, right? But I think we were wrong that Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, the buzz was going to lead to anything substantial. Like it didn't.
He also had 10 for 82 and a touchdown in week 1. That's what bites me, is that like it started well, they won easily, and they still got away from it.
Right. So going into the second year, I think that there's a lot more risk of, frankly, whoever else they draft. Like, could Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt get phased out for Kalen Black? Like, yup, easily. Or whoever else. Any of these other guys that we would have viewed last year like Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. It's one of those guys could just come in and be that dude now. Where I think Rachaad White is enough of like, he does enough of the things that are helpful for an NFL team to like run their offense. He does those things. I think he stays out on the field most likely, and he's like a super, super boring back, but
I don't know.
He has some ability to consolidate touches. We've seen him do it in the past.
When everybody else is terrible, or when they get hurt,
I got
and
news
he's
for you
also
about
lost
this
his job
backfield.
twice. I don't know. I think JCM is a substantially better rusher than Rachaad White is. Like JCM's numbers last year were fine. It's just Rodriguez's were also really good. I think Rodriguez can run the dang ball, and I think JCM's fine. More of my issue with White is like he's 0 if they draft Jeremiah Love, and I think that they are probably going to. So 117 seems. I guess it just seems to me like unnecessary risk to take on for a guy who has a pretty easy path of going to 0. The one thing that's positive for all these guys is if they don't get Love, they only have one day 2 pick. They don't have a round 2 or a round 4. They only have their round 3 pick is 71. So if Love goes to the Titans or Giants, you're sweating one meaningful pick. Otherwise, they can't draft a running back until round 5. So that's the upside. But I don't know. I have both these guys behind ADP just because what we just talked about. I think it's gonna be a pretty gross committee. White didn't get paid anything. And I don't know, you said at the beginning, right? You were like, what do you win if you win? I think you win not that much with any of these guys, and you could lose a lot because they could just draft Jeremiah Love, and then they're all screwed. If Love survives, who would you have? If they dodge Jeremiah Love, who would you rank the highest out of the backfield? I guess White, you would? I'd be JCM. Probably
JCM, but I just think JCM, if they survive, the thing is, if they draft, in the 5th round or whatever, they draft Katron Allen, then I will have White ranked ahead. right? Like any of these guys, like there's a bunch of like kind of two downy type of profiles that I think would challenge Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt even as like a 5th round pick. So if he gets out and they don't really draft anybody, then yeah, I'll have him ranked ahead of White, because at that point he profiles as their lead runner. But
White profiles as their lead runner?
No, JCM does if they don't.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
If they don't but Katron, I think Katron Allen's probably a better rusher than Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt.
I don't think I believe that, but it's like plausible. I mean, so Siberian
concerning
Express
enough that
says,
like the Commanders might be
concerning.
looking at that at the end of the year. You know, like
It's concerning.
That's, you know, yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably at that point it'd be like a 3-headed backfield, right? It would be like Katron's our power back and JCM's our speed back and White's our receiving back, and they all.
It would be what it was. It would be what it was last year with like
right.
The
Whereas
most
McNichols is
yeah.
White's McNichols and Katron is Rodriguez, JCM is JCM, and all of them are pretty meaningless. So yeah. Siberian said, why would White go to 0 if they take Love? He'd still be I don't think he would be the primary backup. Like Rachaad White is like the worst rusher ever. Like he's terrible. He's a receiving back who every time he gets a starting role is more than a receiving back. He like loses that role. He lost it to Bucky Irving. He lost it to Sean Tucker last year. Like he got $2 million. Like I guess I just thought that White getting less money than Emmanuel Wilson would be enough to finally stop hearing about Rachaad White as more than a third down.
I think you're overselling a bit how bad he is as a runner. I mean, 2 years ago, he had 48 rush yards over expected. I mean, it's not like Jerome Ford levels of explosiveness, but that's not bad. He had a 40% success rate. Like it's over expected, you know? I don't have the number from, I don't think he qualified last year. Or no, he did. He was minus 28 last year, which is not good. But like Bucky Irving was at minus 126. You know, we like him. Pacheco was below him. Hubbard was below him. Like Emmanuel Wilson, your boy, was at minus 27. So like,
well, that was all on minus 19-yard carry. You know,
fair.
You gotta factor that in.
I don't think White is like, you know, tripping over his own feet level bad. He's not explosive. He takes like too long to get going. He sort of sits in the backfield for a second before he goes. It's really obnoxious to watch, but he's not like the worst runner. That's the part. I just think you're overselling how bad he is. He's not horrendous, and he is decent as a pass catcher. So he's like a touch consolidator.
Decent as a pass catcher. I'll give him decent as a pass catcher. I don't think I'm overselling how bad he is as a runner.
Yeah,
and I think that the NFL agrees with me.
Percent success rate, no explosive. Sign me up.
I think that the most important. I think that the NFL agrees with me. Like I've like the fact that he got 1 year, $2 million guaranteed. Like when Rodriguez and Emmanuel Wilson and Keaton Mitchell and like all these other guys got more, suggests to me that the NFL doesn't value Rachaad White. And like the fact that they don't value Rachaad White and that he has utility as a pass protector and as a receiver, like I think says a lot about what they think of him as a runner, because he does bring other things to the table. And so in theory, if people viewed him as a reasonable rusher on top of what his actual strengths are, like why didn't he get $6, $7, $8 million this year?
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Is it time for last call? Perhaps. Not yet.
Are we there? I don't know.
We are there, slide-wise.
Do I have an Efton Chisholm to replace?
Yes, the placeholder. Efton Chisholm the third. Will anybody
so
use
Pat
Efton Chisholm
gets
the
to
third to
pick
replace
twice.
Efton Chisholm the third?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick twice. Let me get the
ADP 200 and higher.
Yeah.
I got one.
Go.
I got to help my quarterback room right here. He just slid past pick 200. Give me Michael Penix.
Oh, you couldn't have let me take Penix with the freaking.
You got Ty Simpson, bro, and Tua.
I know, but I got to box you out.
Are you ready, Pat?
Just under the wire.
No.
I am ready. What's going on here? I'm going to take Brian Robinson Jr., who just signed with the Falcons and has an ADP of 200.3.
Yeah, that's who I was going to take.
I'll take Katron Allen.
Katron Allen for Shope. I need a wide receiver who is going to be on the field. The list of guys who are going to be on the field are quite low. You know what? I'm gonna take Hollywood Brown. He will be a man. He will be a man who exists. Yeah.
Did you guys all know that Katron Allen's nickname, by the way, is Fat Man?
Fat Man.
That helps.
All right, I'm going to take another wide receiver who will be on the field and isn't Efton Chisholm and take Christian Kirk, who has an ADP of 200.1.
No, he doesn't. I'm
Yes,
looking
he
at him
does.
right now.
97.
He has an ADP of 197.3.
Yep. Sorry. Windows closed.
Overruled. I was going to take Christian Kirk. That's why I know.
Actually,
he's
guys, that's my pick
197.
from last week when his ADP was.
No.
That's who I was. No, I was taking him in my head.
No, you got Chisholm. You have Chisholm.
I'll take Elijah Surratt.
There you
All
go.
right.
Okay. Chalky week in last call. Everybody near the.
Yeah, very
Do
Except for
you get a
Hollywood.
second pick to replace Chisholm, or are you just accepting Chisholm?
He
No,
just
that's I
replaced him.
took Brian Robinson and.
Oh, you took Brian you took Brian Robinson. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
So I'm hoping you guys will tell me I can watch you all together again later this week or next week. Soon, I hope.
Probably.
Unsure.
We'll probably. Why don't we plan on doing that round table for Dynasty again after the draft and we have our updated rookie rankings?
I like it.
Sure.
Articles coming out, podcasts, the whole thing. Month away.
Yeah, I've got check out Legendary Upside, the rookie profiles. Sign up for $10 a month. Read the running backs profiles, 2-parter there. I went deep. I literally was like turning over stones, hoping maybe I could find us a running back. Jaden Knott honestly came out as like one of the guys I was probably most interested in of these.
I'm telling you, bro, the Jade Knott hive. The closer we get to the draft, the more and more, because you have to.
The
do
Jade
a
Knott
real-
Hive, by the way, is just you and like Fusu Vu.
You got here's the deal. It will be all of you soon because what you have to be doing is you have to win Torst, right? And you have to
It'll
say
be all of you soon.
why do we care about this guy who did not play his final season at Oklahoma? The NFL has to be forecasting to us something.
I mean,
Well, what are they forecasting? Aren't they forecasting that he'll be a UDFA?
he's like 296 on the consensus board.
What are they forecasting exactly? What?
Put your fingers up. Feel the wind blow.
One second, I'm going to open this window.
Okay.
I feel it.
Hang on.
I feel the wind.
Can we get some guesses on what Jaden Knott's consensus mock draft database big board ranking is currently?
Like
Low.
271.
I'll give you a hint. He's behind Kentrell Bullock.
I didn't even know that was a person.
I did not know that was a
He's
person.
one spot ahead of Byron Cardwell.
This is Pat asking me if these are real players.
Is Cardwell Oregon? Is he Oregon?
San Diego State. Come on, man.
Right
my
across
guy.
the
I
street.
didn't.
He's 331 on the consensus
Oh.
big board.
Hey, Cardwell did go to Oregon. He just had to transfer because he was too shitty.
No one
telling
jumped at
you.
Elijah Moore tonight on this.
No one jumped for Elijah Moore in last call. Sad.
Oh, what a miss.
What a miss.
Oh, man.
Jacob, anything you want to mention?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote up a big mailbag this last week, kind of as my last only talking about prospects thing, and then so lots of dynasty and best ball stuff in there, and then I'm in the middle of my running backs article, so that'll be up by the end of this weekend. Almost certainly, I'll have the whole class up. It'll probably be one of those things that I intend to write as one part, and then it'll end up being a 2-parter. But maybe one, because the running backs are so bad that I might not have a lot to say.
It's actually fun to dig in
Most of them.
on some of the profile. Like writing up Jamari Taylor is like I think it's like a I don't know. It's like self-flagellatory, but it's actually kind of fun. You're like I'm a real analyst. No, not a real analyst wouldn't write up Jamari Taylor.
Well, it's like normally, like last year's class, for instance, it's like I had like really big blurbs for like the top, I think 10 running backs, and then I had like 2 to 3 paragraphs at least for the next 5 or 6, and then like once I got down to like RB 18, 19, I started just doing like a couple of sentences. But it's like the couple of sentences tier this year starts at like RB4.
Right.
So it's like I now have to write paragraphs about sentence caliber running backs. which is interesting.
Well, just know if you don't write up Jam Miller, then you're not a real analyst. That's all.
I'm writing up Jam Miller. Like he's in my database. Jay Knott is in my
opinions
database.
about Jam Miller, bro.
I'm not gonna write up Byron Cardwell. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, you don't have to write up Byron Cardwell. You're a real
who'd you talk about before? Kentrell Bullock. I'm not writing up Kentrell Bullock.
South Alabama, obviously.
Will you write up Jade Knott? Will Jade Knott get a couple
I will.
sentences?
Jade Knott's definitely getting a sentence. I can't promise you more than a sentence, but he's definitely getting a sentence.
He's pretty fast. You got to give him credit for that.
He might get like a 10-year criminal sentence, but like he's getting a sentence.
No, Jade Knott, not a criminal. You are thinking of McGowan.
Oh, I just meant for sucking. Like I didn't mean like
he
did
meant
anything wrong.
Yeah, he was being cheeky.
Yeah.
Jaden Knott I described as this year's Jaden Blue derogatory.
I'm in. Say less.
You're in.
Davis always hears complimentary whenever you give a comp that's derogatory. It doesn't matter how bad the comp is. He always hears complimentary.
That's why I
wrote up Eli Heidenreich. He's not listed as a wide receiver or he's not listed as a running back. He's listed as a wide receiver on DraftKings, and he's not in the underdog player pool. So I'm like, maybe if he's a running back post draft,
he's going to be a running back in the NFL almost for sure, right?
I don't know. He might not get drafted, so we might not be able to tell from the
Has
draft.
there ever been a more obvious Patriots UDFA /7th round pick? Okay, Lan Larison was the number one
that name
of all
is
time.
brutal, by the way. That sounds like a villain in the wrong kind of movie.
I know.
It's not great. Eli Heidenreich?
Yeah, that's his name. And I looked up how to pronounce it. Like I was like,
like what? Is that Hans Landa's best friend? Like, what are we doing?
There's no way getting that name wrong.
Don't hang out with Puka.
Puka's pounding the table for Eli Heidenreich.
Bearish for Puka.
Davis, you on tomorrow?
Yes, I will be streaming at some point tomorrow, probably around 2 in the afternoon. Streaming some big. I think I have exactly 50 big board drafts with 29 days left to go. So
the race is on. Look for me, and I know, Pat, you will, at Bruins Sabres tomorrow night with my daughter. Minnesota 3, Tampa Bay 1, midway through the second tonight. We're not watching that super closely, of course.
Dude,
Pat Garain,
Sabres, man. Are you going to be going to the playoffs?
If I can. I gave up season tickets this year after 19 seasons.
Oh, no. Are you serious?
I'm saving money. Yeah. It's fine.
Do you think you're what brought them to finally be good? Is it like once you gave up on them, that's why they're good now?
Yes. And I have a press pass, so I should be okay.
Okay. I'm rooting for them. I'm going to take them in my hockey pool. I'm all in on the Sabres this year.
I'd love to
bring me a lot of joy for you guys to be.
I'd love to have you in my pool. 18 players, no more than hockey pool. Sorry. 18 players, no more than 6 per team, $50.
I want in.
Oh, I'd love to join your hockey pool show.
Okay.
Pat'll be there too. He's always been saying he wants to join a hockey pool.
Yeah, I've been saying it. I just won't shut up about it, frankly.
Saying it more and more.
Sorry, guys. I know I just keep talking about how much I want to be in a hockey pool.
Here's your chance. Thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you next week.